I'd like to call this meeting of the Harriman City Council October 21st, 2025 to order. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by Councilwoman Harris, followed by the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Councilwoman Harris.
Let us pray. Father God, we give you praise, glory, and honor for just another opportunity to be servants, God, to this city of Harriman.
Yes,
We
amen.
pray, God, that everything that we discuss and everything that we vote on, God, will be in line with your word. We thank you for all of these individuals who have come out to participate in this meeting, and we thank you for all of our city workers, and we thank you for all of our men and women in the military.
Amen.
Bless this day that you have given us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Alicia Harris.
Here.
John Brackett.
Here.
Lonnie Wright. Cheryl Laxton. Here.
I'd like to declare a quorum. A motion to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton. Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Laxton,
Yes, second.
followed by Councilwoman Harris. Councilwoman Laxton.
Nothing.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
Floor is open for comment.
Take it.
Yeah,
Call the roll.
call the roll, yeah.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton. Yes.
Motion carries. This time we'll hear from delegation. If you'd like to address this council, come up to the podium, state your name, limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, everybody. This is, I'm Donna Demyanovich with, I'm representing Cornstalk Heights right now. Just wanted to let you know the Ghost Tour was a huge success. Our ticket sales went up 57% from last year.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes, 57%. I thought it was only 27. I was 100 off, so. But yes, it was 57%. So everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Of course, the weather was wonderful. So I just wanted to let you know that. And Sandy, you can come up now. At Donna Marie's, I just want to let you guys know there's not many tickets left, but we're having a Dickens play. You can tell them about it.
Some of you may remember me from some of the murder mysteries that we used to do, and it was very disappointing when we had to stop doing them, but guess what? They're back. And Donna contacted me, and I actually represent the Rhone State Playmakers. I have continued my acting career with Rhone State, and we are doing one, and it is called A Dickens of a Death. We're doing it December the 5th, and there will be a poster that comes out, I believe, and it is a full dinner, wonderfully catered dinner, and we are incorporating, we're bringing actors from Rhone State. Personally, I'm not a Harrimanite, but I worked at the hospital for so many years. I'm adopted. So I just love what's going on with Harriman. It's very exciting. And I would love to see the college out there and the downtown here kind of meet. And so that's kind of why I'm here tonight. So we'll be bringing actors, and including there'll be some children even, which is so cool because we have children's theater. And it will be in Dickens, London. And I think you're going to find it quite entertaining. It is almost sold out already, and we haven't even gone public with it. And Donna and I are talking about doing it on a regular basis because it does give our actors another chance to act and some improvisation, which is another way of acting. Along that line, if I may, there is an upcoming play. I happen to be in it, but it is The Importance of Being Earnest, and she has a copy, and it's one of the old golden oldies, and it is on the weekend before Thanksgiving. So again, we, in an attempt to get more of Harriman involved and our college involved here, we want to make you aware of these performances that we're doing, and I think you'll find it quite entertaining. So, are there any questions?
Is the Deacons of Death, did you say it was gonna be at Donna Marie's?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yes,
I
it is
thought
at Donna
you
Marie's.
started out saying that, and then I think.
Yes,
yeah,
it is
okay.
at Donna Marie's, and it's a lovely catered meal. But again, I'm very confident we'll probably do this on a regular basis again. So
What's the cost?
it is $45 per person because it
Where's the
is.
tickets?
What's that? What do you get?
Where's the tickets?
Yeah.
Well, you can tell me, and I'll put you on the list, and
Okay.
I'll be getting the tickets printed later on this week.
Okay.
So, yeah, because basically we were gonna use Eventbrite
Eventbrite,
first, but I put it out word of mouth, and I got such a huge response. I literally have like a few tickets left. That's it. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna probably, if you guys all wanna come,
And that's a Friday.
that's a
It is a
Friday night.
Friday.
Just
Right.
let us know, and we're gonna, I left a little bit of room so we could add another table, so.
Awesome.
If you're interested, just let us know, because like I said, I have literally, like, from what we originally talked about, 6 tickets left. So,
Out of 54, right?
out of 54. I mean, just by word of mouth, it sold out that fast.
And unfortunately, we can't add a second night this time, but we're looking at probably another one in February.
Yeah, we
And we'll hopefully be able to do 2 nights, and then more people can come enjoy. So, anyway, I look forward to seeing you all there, and come see Ernest if you can.
And
Sounds
it's
great.
also a BYOB.
Yeah.
So you can bring a bottle of wine if you want, something, we'll have, of course, we'll have refreshments and a full meal there, but you can bring your own wine. We won't be selling it, it's a BYOB, kind of like what Carmela's does. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, if we do the other one, it will probably be in February, that's what the dates we're looking at, so. But if you guys are interested, just let me know, text me, let me know, and I can put a couple seats aside for you.
Okay.
So,
Sounds great.
don't
Yeah,
worry about
sounds
that
good.
number 6, that's just,
Okay.
I
Love
can
to
add
have you.
more. Yeah.
Thank you all for letting us
Sounds great.
come. I
Okay,
appreciate it,
thank
and
you.
we look
Thank you.
forward to.
Thank you for doing
Thank you so much.
something in the city of Harriman. That's what I like, is something
Absolutely.
different,
When-
something new, and that's what,
When Donna approached me, I went to
Yeah, I
Courtney
like that.
Minton, who's the theater director, and she was very, very excited that we were getting married.
okay, okay.
So,
We're doing it. It's a
Yeah.
honeymoon phase, but I
That's
think it's
right.
gonna work out.
that's right.
Well, they were so fun when we had them before, so I'm
Thank you.
excited that
Thank you, Mr.
we're
Bass.
bringing some of them back.
Enjoyed 'em.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Look forward to
If I may reiterate your words just a little bit, the haunted tour was a very much a success. I was able to attend, very much enjoyed it. The residents, people were very receptive. I mean, just, felt welcome. I mean, it was just a all-around good little thing to be a part of, and I just want to let you know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And everybody I've talked to, I'm not surprised that, it was up 57%, because it was just, it was a really good event. I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys for,
It was a great night.
Well, it was, and not
The
only
weather.
that, but the board, that we have for Cornstalk Heights, they're amazing. You just give them what they need and they will do it. So accolades to them, because they really
They did a
did
wonderful
great
job.
job. So, and then of course, the next tour is gonna be the Christmas tour, second weekend in December.
can't wait.
So, yeah, and I'm not sure what the price is on those tickets yet. Gary, do you know? We haven't set that yet. Yeah, they haven't set it yet, but anyway, so just lots of stuff happening around here.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right. Anyone else like to address council? If not, we'll go into reports. Treasury report.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members, you have in front of you the executive summary for the second meeting here for October. And I'm pleased to report things that I've been working on for several months now are getting wrapped up this week. That's the capital equipment loan. The money came through last week for that, and we've completed the purchase of the street sweeper. We've got the John Deere tractor. Both of those are for the street department, of course, coming up as well. The general fund bank account and the credit card revenue account, we just opened those accounts this afternoon, so I'll start the transition of those revenues into those accounts immediately. And Brad Harris will be from MTAS will be here on Monday to help me close the books and get the audit scheduled as soon as possible.
So again, Chris, we are on track with the books as far as them being closed, us getting the audit and the comptroller giving us a thumbs up, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. We're not going to be in that crunch like we have been in the
Okay,
past.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Gavin, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. No report from me tonight. I would just mention, we got word that Mr. Tommy Hester had transferred his property, and Mr. Gilliam, I guess, had transferred their property to Ms. Carr. So that means the taxes should have been paid on that. We haven't gotten anything from the Roane County Clerk and Master's office yet, but we should. And so that process is moving. So hopefully that'll play out and the city can get that property fixed. So that concludes my report. If anybody has any questions, I'm
I have
probably
a
happy to-
question, Gavin.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
were all of the people notified in the neighborhood?
They should have been, yes. The way that works is for an order to be final with the court clerk has to certify that all parties were given notice. And so,
And the reason I asked, there was a house for sale.
Mm-hmm.
They had to take it off the market because they were involved.
mhm.
And then, but I did notice it went back up.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
assumed.
Yes,
they had.
the case is dismissed with prejudice. It can't be brought back, so thank goodness for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Gavin. Thanks,
Thank you,
Gavin.
Gavin.
Thanks, sir. City Manager, Mr. Mason.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the City Council. You've got before you, and I think I've distributed to everybody that's in the audience tonight, the latest, most current version of the direction. And thank you to Councilwoman Harris. When we made the changeover from Google to Microsoft, Microsoft had a newsletter that I was going to try and use just to get out our progress on different events. And Councilwoman Harris said, why don't you try it on this format? So I have not scanned it. What our department heads do, they have to get their report to me by a certain time period. So they all work on this document at one time. So I've not checked it for accuracy and everything the way it should be, but that's what it'll look like, and I'll work on this tomorrow and we'll send that out. It should be easier for everybody to access, but just a couple of things that I wanted to point out on this edition. If you've been to any of our ballparks, Drac Track or Flower Mill Flats, Musco has already dropped off the bases for those lights, so they're in place. Again, that's a project we hope to be finished by the beginning of February, and plenty of time for baseball season to start. Our events, we have, of course, Donna spoke on how successful the Cornstalk Heights Haunted Tour of Homes was last night. I just want to mention we had our 4th or 5th annual Fright Night. And certainly appreciate Councilman Johnson. You could hear him laughing and yelling all over the entire park. But we probably had between 300, 340 vehicles come through last night. Checked all the license plates. They were from Cumberland, Knox, Morgan, Monroe, Loudon, and
That's great.
one other, but they were from all over the area. Very appreciative. Officer J.P. Jones thought it was the largest crowd we'd ever had, and I know we had more volunteers than we've had in years previous. So we had a little debrief session this morning and talked about maybe how to include the high school students, more students in next year. So we're already planning for that, but that was a huge success. Our next ones that sit around Halloween are our trunk or treat. That'll be a week from tonight. That's 5 to 8. Right now we've got 80+ booths. We got the DJ, the dance mob, movies, hayride. Keeping a close eye on the weather. Very close eye on the weather, but with so many other events going on. Of course, church on Wednesday night, high school football games have all been moved to Thursday, Halloween being Friday. Unless it's just a downpour, we'll probably leave it as is, but we'll make a decision closer to that time. Something I would like for everybody, if they're listening online tonight, we're going to have a community-wide health fair, and that's going to be on November the 6th, be here in Gates Hall. Everybody in the public is invited. Jen has been working on that, and it's just for anybody to come in to help our residents to support opportunities to have a healthy lifestyle. So whether they need medical, dental, retirement, we'll have all kinds of booths set up. It'll be a drop-in type format, and we'll certainly get something out on Facebook on that, but very excited about that. And planning for our Veterans Day Parade, which will be held starting again at South Harriman Baptist. We'll include our schools, and that'll conclude down at Riverfront Park with a ceremony down there. Fire department's going to have Tear at the Temperance. I've got a little slide for that I'll show you, but that's in the direction right there. And you can read the updates. I'm going to skip all the way down under grants update, and I'll come right back here. This is a grant, the CMAQ grant, and just to give everybody who's listened an explanation, it started in about 2017 and was going well. We had COVID, and it sort of had just died off. There was no movement made, and so we started working about 4 years ago, had some issues trying to get reimbursements and get money changed around. But very excited, and Keita can give you a much more in-depth update on this. But basically, in a nutshell, what this grant will do, there are 18 total traffic signals in and around Harriman. The silver boxes that you see have very old equipment in there. So old, it's almost hard to find replacement parts. So old that even the young people that work for the electric companies now don't even know how to work on them. They're so old. So the CMAQ would come in, and what that will do, we'll have radar camera units at these 18, and depending on the traffic, that will control what changes the lights and the duration. You'll no longer have the loops in the road or in the pavement. So hopefully in the next 14 to 16 months, that project will be complete. But Keita's been working on that. I don't know if there's anything she wants to add to that, but we are finally starting to get reimbursements back from the state. That started as a $2.7 million grant, and it's 100% reimbursement. So this is a good grant, and that's one reason we really want to get it resurrected and back on track. Keita, is there anything you need to add on the CMAQ?
No, just glad we're finally seeing some reimbursements on it.
If you will check your email, I did send you the whole packet. I didn't print that off. It was about 48 pages, but it had a little more detail. I want to really brag on Drax crew, on what they've been working on. As you read the direction, you can see everything that they've been doing, which is normal, but they were on Aspen Drive, and I don't know if Councilman Johnson remembers this. Got a call from a resident over a year ago. We went out on Aspen Drive. We crawled down in there and looked, and this was a massive tile that had been put in years ago, completely rusted out in the bottom, but we knew it was going to be huge. It's just a one-lane road, but what we kept on, school bus travels that road every single day. So Drac and his crew started on it this morning, and one thing, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is how Drac's crew and his guys take pride in what they do. This picture right here, you'll notice behind Chris, there's a wall right there. Well, as Tim and I were looking at it that day a year ago, an individual had stacked stone and made a nice retaining wall. And we looked at trying to take that out. Drac said, I don't know. He said, well, that wall will probably come down. But it went out today, and Drac was talking. Our guys were able to excavate that, get the tile out, and leave that wall in place, which was huge. So they got the new tile inserted, and it was tedious because they had to work around a manhole cover. They started early this morning, got that finished, and packed it with rock. When it settles, then we'll put pavement in it. But just super proud of what Drax crew was able to do. And then in the upper right-hand corner is a picture at Fred Davis Jr. Park. The pad's been poured for our new building. The inmates and Sergeant Sparks and his crew started putting the walls up today. So they hope to have it, weather cooperating, completely framed in with the trusses by the time Friday gets here. And closing out, talked about Friday night. I want to really recognize David Branham. David was on vacation last week, but the week before, he coordinated with some of our volunteers, had everything in place. He got back Sunday and went down and got everything. And people don't realize, you have got to get all the lights turned out. You got to have electrical. And so Dave coordinated all that. And then our Parks and Rec crew, they helped get the park ready as well, make sure it's going to be safe. But without their efforts behind the scenes, it would never be as big a success as it is. You've probably noticed PUCC back in town today. They're the ones replacing our some of our damaged water lines or storm drains that we had. They're pouring the concrete curbs on Morgan and Trenton today, so they're continuing to work, making good progress on that. Halloween is going to be Friday, October the 31st, and the city will recognize our official times will be from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Friday night, October the 31st. So we'd ask that everybody observe that, and it's just easier for everybody that participates. The Friday night games, as I mentioned, the Harriman High School football game has been moved to Thursday, October the 30th. They should be the last game of the regular season. Did speak and talked to the group that's interested in the Johnson's Nursing Home. We've not heard anything about that. They had some plans that weren't real sure would fit for what the city of Harriman had. So I talked with them yesterday, and they're going to be back in town. They are ready to make a move at the possibility of putting a true assisted living with memory care in there. So we got them hooked up with Jason Plant at Roan Medical and Melinda Bertram to give her some tips. And so they're looking, and we'll be back in to look at plans and to see what they're going to have to do on that building. But they're ready to move forward with that, and they're excited and think it's something really good. We only have the one in Kingston, and it's a much needed, much need that we have for our citizens. So hopefully we'll keep that ball rolling.
Now, that is the group that purchased the building, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And last but not least on there, on the easy update or changeover we've had from Google to Microsoft, we're almost finished. But Pinnacle, and talked with Joe today, he is going to come in a couple of weeks. I'll give you plenty of notice. Be here for one morning from 9 till noon, as long as we need. Instead of doing a presentation, everybody's having different issues. Some are simple, some are complicated. So he'll be available to answer questions, provide a training session.
What day will that be on, Scott?
What's that?
He doesn't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
as
you
soon as
don't
I
know
get
just
that,
yet?
I'll let that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll have that here in the training room. And I've had some concerns from people that do watch our council meetings on Facebook that there's been no sound or there's been popping or cracking sound. So we got with Bear. He noticed that the microphones were redlining a little bit, which probably caused the cracking. And we've also had an issue in uploading our council meetings to our website. So what we're trying with this first meeting today, we now have a City of Harriman YouTube channel. And we should be able to have a smooth transition and have this council meeting posted, if not by tonight, first thing in the morning. Jen and Bear are the ones spearheading that, but hopefully that'll take care of all the issues not having it posted, and certainly all our audio and visual issues. Bear, is there anything else you need to add to that? No. Okay.
And I think that's important. A lot of us don't realize, a lot of people look, when we advertise that this is the agenda, a lot of people say, okay, I'm gonna go back and look at it. And then if you don't hear, or you hear the popping, they're gonna move away from it. So the sooner we can get it fixed, the better.
And you're exactly right. There are a lot of people that might not be here, but they do
Yes,
watch our meetings. So
yes.
hopefully this will be another improvement moving to Microsoft, because
Yes.
that's part of that platform that we'll be using. So that's it for my report, unless you have any questions.
Because that, understand, all ball games in the county moved to Friday, or is that just Harriman?
Thursday.
I'm sorry, Thursday, I meant to say.
Yeah, the ones that were going to be scheduled in county that would be played on Friday night, which is Halloween, have been moved to Thursday,
Okay,
October 30th.
okay, awesome, thank you.
I wanna, this Aspen Drive. Now, I've only been on council a year. You know where Aspen is. You don't have to,
Thought I had the map on here. but-
we've got an issue on Aspen, and we've got surveyors. The family has a surveyor coming, but the bottom line is they always came through the cemetery and around. Well, that road's been closed, I don't know how many years.
Probably about 2 years.
Maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, well, the situation now is one of the sons up on top of the hill has passed away. And we're having it surveyed to see if Aspen is an easement road. There's question as to whether one of the homeowners will allow the people to come up Aspen to go to this house, or if they're going to be required to come around the cemetery.
Cemetery's privately owned. It's not owned by the city, so it's privately owned. So they have a choice whether they want to shut that road down or not too. That's not a city road. So what's happened is this family owned that whole property.
Yes.
And they developed it and put roads in it. That is their property. Now that they've sold them, now they don't want to let somebody have the access. I don't think that they can keep them from having the access.
Well, and
But-
you're probably going to hear from one of them, because
Well,
that's.
I've called one back and
Okay.
left a message,
Is
but
that
I'll.
Darlene? Okay, yeah, but, she's really upset, but as a realtor, I don't think we can shut the one up on top off.
I think they have a right of way. I mean, I think that Gavin probably can answer that better than anybody in here, but I think they're gonna have an access to their house, on a road that is there.
Not necessarily, because for years, you had the road, Redwood, that went up, and you had houses on Redwood, and so you had a road. And it circled back, and it cut down on Cox.
Well, Redwood dead ends when you get to the cemetery, it dead ends.
Okay.
So anything that comes through
But
that,
Mr. Pridemore owned property on Redwood. At one point in time, I had 2 pieces of property,
that you can access, yes.
you know, and so you could go around by the cemetery.
But that is on private property.
Okay.
That is on cemetery property.
But
Me and
what
Scott looked
happened
it
to
up and it's
Redwood
on.
Road?
Redwood Road stops at the top of the cemetery. When he bought that piece of property, there wasn't an access back there except for the cemetery road. We looked at it, all that road is on cemetery property.
Okay.
It's not on our property.
Okay. That's my main question
Yes.
there. Okay, the cemetery road was closed off. This was about, I'm gonna say 25 acres, or is it more than that? The whole Burgess farm. Mr. R.P. Burgess owned the main house. He had given smaller pieces of property to all of his children. They put trailers, double wides, whatever, on their individual pieces of property. Okay, all of the addresses are Aspen Drive. Every property up through there. The one on the top was Kevin. He recently passed away. His daughter wants to sell the property. But you've got one down below that she says she will not. She'll block off. She will not.
Well, there's generally, I get a general picture.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the property, but generally there's such thing as easement by necessity. You know, if somebody's landlocked, they can't be required to drop in and get to their property by helicopter.
Right.
You have to be able to cut a way through. And if you have to go to court to enforce
Okay.
that, you can. There's also prescriptive easements, which are acquired by use after long periods of time. So just because it's not in writing in a
Okay.
document somewhere doesn't mean you know that person's not going to
You
have
may
access.
talk to her.
So,
And I think because that house has had an access on that road for 25 plus years, 30 years,
30 plus.
there's a right of way to that easement
Yeah.
to that house.
Now,
but that
they've
sounds like a
maintained-
civil matter that she
Yes.
would have to
That
enforce.
would be out of the city's
Okay.
hands.
Yeah.
okay, that's
Yeah.
where I,
Yeah.
because I wasn't privy to any of that when that happened, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to get
Yeah.
into it, but she's really upset. Okay.
But now the cemetery has the right, you know, their organization to allow access through their property. The only thing is somebody goes through there and gets hurt or something, you know, then
Well,
that
and-
organization's
And
responsible.
this property that the daughter has, it's got the Burgess Cemetery in it. And so she's having it surveyed, and she's having a portion, she's gonna portion that off so that they will continue to have the Burgess Cemetery, which you come through
The cemetery.
Harriman Cemetery to get to. She's gonna do that. But the big thing is, how are we gonna get people up to the house?
Yeah. I think it's gonna become a civil matter that will be out of our hands. You know, like I said, the cemetery part I can't answer for because it's not our property. And the reason that it was blocked off was, the road was getting bad. There was things going on the road so the residents asked us to block that part off. So we got and put barriers up that could be moved for people to access the bottom part of the cemetery if they needed to. But, you know, like me and Scott talked about the other day, you know, we can take our barriers off, but it's up to the cemetery, as to what they want to
Okay.
happen.
Before we put those banners up, we did have
Well,
to
no,
go through the
we-
cemetery association
Yes.
for permission.
Yeah,
put
when
those
we
up.
were in high school, to get to Kevin's, we came around by the cemetery, and it was called Redwood Road.
Shortcut road.
Yeah. He must be watching us on TV. Oh, I'll cut him off here. But anyway, that's how we got to Kevin's.
Yeah.
And so then I think the Burgesses put up a gate at the edge of their property and cut anybody from being able to come around there.
They shut it off first.
Okay. And that's, so the bottom line is they want to do what's fair, and so that's what we need to do.
Yeah, and I understand all sides of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a sticky situation, but I think at the end of the day, they're either gonna have to agree or they're gonna have to take legal course, and that will
Yeah.
be out of our hands.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will suggest to Ms. Burgess, you'll need to go through the Cemetery Association to get access to that road. And I would be surprised that they would open it back up for that kind of access, because then it becomes a main road, and then they're responsible for keeping it up, keeping it paved, keeping it, all those things that I don't think they have the money to keep up.
Well,
So-
and I'm sure that's a question they're having because they've maintained the roads up there, the gravel, all the way up to the top for years. Each of the kids have maintained
To that house,
to all of them. I mean, you come,
that's on their farm, yes.
but see, it comes off of Aspen, and then one goes to the main house that Tommy Golston had for a while, and then you had 1, 2, 3, 4 properties.
Yep.
So, okay.
But
I
we-
just want to
we've been
make
looking
everybody
into it.
aware of it.
Last thing,
Thank
and
you,
I
sir.
neglected, I was going through the slides, I want to also congratulate our police chief, Barry Tapp, lifelong resident, great chief of police for us, but last night he was appointed unanimously by the county commission to serve on the Rome County School Board, so.
Is that him?
That's him, yes.
Have we met him
And,
before?
He looks familiar.
From here up, he said, no, but his first school board meeting was
He looks like
Thursday
he's
night.
scared to death.
Well, the funny part about it is when we start talking about what's law and what's not, he pops that picture up. I'm thinking, okay, why is the chief looking at us like that? Are you doing something wrong?
But I didn't get to go to the county commissioner meeting, but I watch it online for y'all
Yeah.
know the reason. And he gave a good spiel, but everybody, only person I think, what's his name? That's for Harriman, the commissioner,
Henderson or-
Henderson. Yeah, he said I got to give it a little thought, but it was all in joke. But it was 15-0, so I think Tapp will do a great job.
And if you know our chief, he loves our kids. He
Yeah,
loves everybody
he
at
does.
Harriman, and that just be a huge asset to serve
Yeah.
the school board.
And one other thing, we need to thank Bear for what he did Friday and Saturday night out here for,
Oh, for the crowd control, for the,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
yes.
he even slept here in his car. So, yes.
Thank you, Bear, for all you do.
And he's another example of stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Roads, barriers put up, barricades taken down, and
He got up and mingled, was talking to people. I mean, everybody was having a great time, Bear.
He's good.
He's
Okay.
good at it.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
This time we're going to new business. First item on the agenda, discuss and possibly approve full payment of HEB gas bill totaling $6,912.74.
Motion.
Second. Oh,
I didn't hear who had the motion. Councilman Brackett?
Yes, sir.
Motion, second by Councilman Johnson. Councilman Brackett?
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson? No, sir. Floor is open for discussion.
Of course, I'm going to say something. So,
It's okay.
I am on the Harriman Utility Board, and I know this was sent out to all of those that, I guess, unfortunately had to pay for the mistake by the gas meters that were faulty with the Harriman Utility Board. But I'm thinking this has been 2 or 3 months old, and so I was surprised. And I contacted Chris. I'm going to communicate before I come up here, but just so the audience will know, why are we paying it and why are we paying it now?
I did, and what's on the slide here is a postcard we received last week, and I was like, we're past due for this gas payment. So I called Candace. I knew we had to get it on the council agenda since there was an excess $5,000. So let me make sure. So the meters were not faulty. I think it was the settings that were faulty for some of the businesses and churches in town. We, the city of Harriman, were one of those businesses, and so by law, you have to pay that debt because it was gas that we actually used. So I thought when we got the letter 4 months ago, I said, okay, it's going to be included on our regular bill, and they'll just take it out over 4 or 5 years, and or whatever the payment was. I think HEB allowed it to 3 years of interest-free payment.
Right.
So I got the postcard and met with Chris, and I said, we've got to pay this. And he said, well, let's just pay it all at once. We had the funds available. So that's why I have it for you today. I thought we had been paying it each month, just the additional charge spread out over 3 years, when that was not the case. But we were informed by HEB, so that's why we have it on the agenda tonight to just go ahead and pay this bill that we owe and be done with that.
And just for the audience's sake and for those that are listening, we did ask that the gas department ensure that they do checks, whether it's quarterly checks or whatever, because this should have never happened to anyone. And for those who were at the meeting, they knew I was upset about it because it's not the customer's fault. You know, you all should have been doing your job. So I have been assured by the gas department that there will be regular checks on these meter readings to ensure this does not happen again. Thank you, Scott. That's all my discussion.
Okay. And just so everybody knows, those was new meters. They wasn't where we just put them in, and they was new meters. We thought they was regulated right when we got them. They're supposed to be in, but as
Yeah, calibration needed to be done,
Calibration
and
needed to
then
be
he
done,
also
so.
said that maybe calibration as you go along, things can change, it can go back or whatever, so.
Was my question, are those the new IMA, is that right, the new IMA?
IMA.
People are calling them smart meters now, I think. But that was the,
That was
the
a
new
part
smart,
of it, yes.
that was part of it, okay.
Yeah, I was curious, because I thought it might have been the older ones.
That's
where
what
they
I
No, it was
changed
the
them
new
out.
ones. It was the
But,
new ones.
yeah, it should have been calibrated to make sure it was working right.
okay. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next time, discuss and possibly approve a first reading of ordinance 1025-01 and ordinance authorizing fines and costs to be collected through a collection agency.
A motion.
Councilwoman Harris makes a
I'll
motion.
second.
Second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilwoman Harris.
Would like for Mr. Mason to provide more information, please.
Thank you, council. If you remember, at our last council meeting 2 weeks ago, we brought before you a contract proposal for a group that would help in the delinquent and taxes through our court system. Can't remember the exact money, but it was quite a large amount. This company would go back 12 years to help collect some of those fines. And checked with John and Gavin in our firm, and they said before we go into that agreement, we need to have an ordinance allowing us to do that. So this ordinance just simply will be the first reading. We'll have a second reading, public hearing at 5:45 in 2 weeks to allow us, meaning the city, to enter into this agreement with AMS for the collection of delinquent court fines. The agreement that they put out, John and Gavin are looking at right now and we'll have that on our agenda next as well, to make sure that truly protects us as a city before we sign any agreement. So the ordinance just gives us the permission to enter into an agreement with AMS.
And what was the, I know the amounts in our packet, what was the amount? Do you remember?
The cost to the city, if we go with this company, is zero.
But I mean, the cost, how much, $20,000 in fines, back fines or something, was that?
Mayor, I think it was closer to 65,000 in the past. I can look at that number. Megan ran that for me. 65,000, I think, over the past 12 years that have not been collected.
The only thing I'm gonna warn council of is if, when you approve this, people 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, they don't even remember they got a fine, may not even recall, they may not even make it to court date. When we send them, they're going on the behalf of the city of Harriman. So when they call these people and they tell them it's gonna cost you another $125 for me to collect that money, So not only do you pay the $50 that they owed, they gotta pay that collection fee. You guys are gonna be the ones that get called.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be the ones that, it's your fault because you approved this. I'm more in favor of, and I know it's lost revenue, I'm more in favor of approving it based on starting it
On a certain date.
the last year, within the last year or something. 12 years is a long time to go back and start calling people and say, hey, you remember 12 years ago you were supposed to be in court and you didn't show up? You owed us $50, now you owe us $500. Because they've added the interest to it also. They've added, you know, I
That's a
don't
good
know
point. That's a
what
good
all they
point.
add.
That happened with the Harriman Utility Board.
That's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, and they went back way back, and some of the people didn't even live there. Somebody else was living there or whatever, and I just wasn't in agreement with trying to go way back. So that's a good point, Mayor.
Well, it's designed to give an
They still got
example.
my
Let's say if Councilwoman Harris, when the flash had gone off on the little speed sign we had, let's say her ticket was $100.
Why did you bring that up?
If that had happened, it would be $100. So this company would charge Councilwoman Harris $135. We would get our $100, but that company gets 35%. But I can certainly get with John and Gavin. You know, if that's the will of the council, we can make it effective immediately and only be retroactive for a year, or even just start at the time the contract's
Well, I
signed.
think if they got a ticket within the last year, they know
They
it.
know about it.
But my thought was, you go 12, 10 years back,
Good point.
the revenue's not changed. We've not ceased operations because of that revenue. But I think you give people an opportunity to understand that they owed something.
Yeah, that would be a lot better to go back a year or so, because you go back 12 years, that's gonna be a big shock.
I think it is too, and some of those people may not be here one
Yeah.
way or the other,
And even the ones living there,
sadly, you know.
you know,
May
it's,
not be of
yeah,
course,
Yeah.
if it's tied to an address.
I would agree going back a year or so instead of 12.
Totally agree with
So what
you.
we'll do,
Can I amend
if this
my
ordinance is approved, the contract will be separate or active after the second reading.
Okay.
So we would bring the contract before the
Okay.
council for
Okay.
approval.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
And just to clear the record, I don't know of a ticket that I have that
And I don't
affect me in
I
this.
don't have a ticket either, even
So-
though they said I was speeding.
First thing somebody's gonna say, well, I guarantee you the mayor owed something 10 years ago, and that's why he's doing this. I don't have a ticket that I know of.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
So we have a motion and a second for the first reading. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. We lost power.
Screen.
We did.
Next item. Discuss and possibly approve resolution R1025-02, a resolution of the city of Harriman, Tennessee, adopting the 2024 International Residential Code for one and two family dwellings, including amendments and exclusions pursuant to the Tennessee Code annotated 68-120-101 and repealing prior conflicting resolutions. Motion to approve.
I make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Scott.
If you recall, probably about a month and a half ago, we had Taylor Pulver. He's here with us tonight from building inspector from the Roane County Codes Enforcement Office to tell a little more about this. But during our workshop, Taylor's one who brought forth the changes. We talked about it, and it is recommended that these are approved by the council every 7 years. And so I think I'll turn it over to Taylor to answer any questions about either one of these resolutions.
Good evening.
Good evening, Taylor.
Good to be here. So by state law, we've got to stay up to date with where the state is in their adoption process, to be within those 7 years. So that's why we have to do this. These are the same changes we went over last time. The only change is if you recall, we talked about garage doors with a self-closing from the garage to the home. That is, we actually wrote that out after doing some more digging, doing some more stuff. Just didn't seem like the right fit to have to force that with some other things going on. as well as the only other talking point really worth a good note is the seismic classification. So we went from D0 to C. What we're proposing is to stay at D0 for just footers and foundation. So we're not reducing what we're already doing, but it keeps us out of having to do some of the additional changes as water heater, seismic, and other things would have to be required if we did it across the board. Any question?
No, and this is something you're doing in all the cities, going by to
The
make sure.
cities and the counties.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to do across the board, same, keep it as it has been. Everyone adopts the same.
Is any cities adopting, because I know you can adopt it all, or you can change, cities can change what they choose to based on their needs and stuff. Has anybody changed anything outside of what
Not
you're
yet, ma'am.
proposing?
No, though I have not, I've met with the other cities, but their second actual meetings with their council is actually next week for Kingston and Oliver Springs, so they haven't requested anything different just yet. But after presenting it the first time, no questions of wanting to change anything really came up after we talked about it and explained it.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
And this is basically gonna be the same questions a little bit as we're gonna, as the next, and so,
Yeah, it should be about the same. There's less changes with the other one.
yeah,
Okay,
okay. All right. Thanks, sir.
thank you, Chairman.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is discuss and possibly approve resolution R1025-03, a resolution of the City of Harriman, Tennessee, adopting the 2024 International Building Code, including amendments, exclusions, comparison codes, and special provisions pursuant to the Tennessee Code annotated 68-120-101, prevailing prior conflicting resolutions.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Brackett, second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Chairman, you have anything you want to add?
Just so you guys know exactly what this one is. There is a slight difference, not a change to anything that we talked about before, but just so you know exactly what you're getting into. This one also is what includes all of your additional codes, including, we get past the notes here. This includes your IBC, your international property maintenance codes, your fire codes, your couple zoning codes, and just of everything outside of your residential codes is what this is for. Because we have your commercial buildings, your apartment buildings, and basically everything outside of your one residence, 2 resident homes.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we have on the agenda. This time we're going to council remarks. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
And I don't have anything. So motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign.